This is Adam Guillette with Accuracy in Media, and today I want to talk to you about a tale of two governors, New York's Andrew Cuomo and Florida's Ron DeSantis. You can't go anywhere in the world of journalism without finding articles praising Andrew Cuomo these days. We see stuff saying that he's got a 90% approval amongst Republicans. Everybody loves Cuomo. If you listen to Howard Stern and all, he's endlessly praising Andrew Cuomo. Every article online, they love Andrew Cuomo. If you have any Paramount-owned channel running in the background on your TV, you see praise for Cuomo there. I keep my television on in the background while I'm working, and occasionally it's on the Paramount network, and endlessly I see what might as well be campaign ads. They're ads for The Daily Show with Trevor Noah, and it's the same clip again and again and again about Trevor Noah proclaiming himself a Cuomo-sexual and talking about how well Andrew Cuomo is handling this crisis. Well, you might like Andrew Cuomo's policies, you might not, but what's unbelievable, what's morally outrageous, is the way the media ignores Cuomo's failings, with the exception of the New York Post. To their credit, the New York Post endlessly has gone after Cuomo over the fact that he ordered nursing homes to accept COVID-19 patients. That's right, the demographic most at greatest threat from the coronavirus, he ordered nursing homes, the elderly, to be surrounded by COVID-19 positive patients. Now you could say, well, they were overwhelmed. Where else were they going to put them? I got a couple ideas. They had the comfort ship sitting in their harbor with an overwhelming majority of their beds empty. Maybe you could have put some there. In addition, they had the church group that set up a hospital in Central Park. I know they were all mad. This was a church group of people who believed in Christianity. It was terrible, very offensive to New Yorkers, but they went there to help people. People who have hostility against them. To the credit of these Christians, they went to New York to help them anyway. Well, most of their beds went unused. How about possibly putting some of the COVID-19 patients there with Samaritan's Purse instead of putting them in nursing homes? In fact, they even sent workers that had tested positive for COVID-19 into those nursing homes. Now, they only had them working with patients who already had COVID-19, but surely there's an escalated risk when you put people into an environment and you know they're at risk and you know that you are positive for coronavirus. We're all worried about Lysoling surfaces and cleaning down everything we touch. How much extra work of that has to be done when we're sending in COVID-19 positive workers into nursing homes? Cuomo was for that as well and pushed it upon him. Now, he since came out and gave a half-hearted apology for insisting that nursing homes take COVID-19 patients, but you don't see that anywhere in the media. All you endlessly see are stories of how well COVID-19 was handled by Andrew Cuomo and how great of a job that he's done. Here's what else Cuomo has done that we're not really hearing about from anybody but the New York Post. Now it came out that volunteers who went to New York to help them with this pandemic are going to get hit by an income tax. These are people who live out of state. They work for out-of-state companies. Those out-of-state companies said, hey, we'll keep you on payroll. If you want to go to New York and help them out, we'll keep you on payroll so you can pay the bills while you support the people in New York who are overwhelmed. Great companies for doing that. Brave people to go to New York for doing that. Their reward? Andrew Cuomo hit them with an income tax if they worked for 14 days or more. They'll still have to pay their income tax back home if they live in a state with an income tax. But on top of that, Andrew Cuomo is hitting these heroic volunteers with an income tax. You're not seeing that everywhere in the media. Another story you're seeing lightly, I saw Forbes do a good piece on it, is that the U.S. coronavirus outbreak primarily spread from New York. New Yorkers went down to Florida. They literally had to stop them at the border and ask them to self-quarantine in Florida. There were so many New York snowbirds coming down. And the Florida counties that have the most COVID-19 cases are, of course, the counties full of New Yorkers: Broward County, Palm Beach County, and Miami-Dade County. Well, the same thing happened in other states as well. As New Yorkers fled to other states, they brought the coronavirus with them. Literally, COVID-19 is the worst thing to come out of Brooklyn since hipsters, and it spread throughout the country coming from New York. We don't hear about that being talked about with Andrew Cuomo very frequently either. We just hear stories about how Ron DeSantis is a hashtag Florida moron. Florida doesn't have a handle on coronavirus. They can learn a lot from Andrew Cuomo. Well, look at the death figures. To DeSantis' credit, with a population much greater than Massachusetts, much greater than Illinois, much greater than Pennsylvania, much greater than Michigan and Louisiana, we have significantly less deaths in Florida, despite the fact that Florida has a much older average population age than all those states. So maybe you like DeSantis' policies, maybe you don't. But where are the stories talking about how Ron DeSantis in Florida pulled off a miracle with the third largest population in the country, a population greater than that of New York, with a significant amount of elderly people? All we hear about in Florida is that they're morons for being allowed to go out back on the beach in places like Duval County. Duval County, which last I checked, had roughly, I think, 14 COVID-19 deaths. They were getting lectured by Northeastern New York journalists who at the same time had friends and loved ones who were traveling around the country, escaping New York and spreading the virus with them. Where are those stories from the mainstream media? Is it that these New York reporters don't want to report on how their state might not have the best handle on things and how their governor might not be the greatest Cuomo since the one Chris Cuomo on CNN? No, instead we just see endless stories praising Andrew Cuomo and endless hashtag Florida moron stuff. It's morally outrageous. Credit to the New York Post for calling Cuomo out again and again. I don't know why more newspapers in New York don't have the intellectual honesty that that paper has, because regardless of your beliefs, it's a topic worth exploring, and Americans deserve to know the facts of what's actually happened in states like New York and in states like Florida. Again, this is Adam Guillette with Accuracy in Media. If you want more on this, go to our website, aim.org. Hit us up on all the social media channels. If there are stories that you think we should be covering, hit us up on social media or shoot us an email at info@aim.org. Again, Adam Guillette with Accuracy in Media.